You're listening to I'm Telling You. You're listening to I'm Telling You.
Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of I'm Telling You.
Who is it? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let me in.
As always, the antics ensued instantaneously, of course, because why would anything else not happen here like that? Anyway, so this is Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Clickety clacker fact checker with JD.
Yeah, and if you would like to reach out to us, we would appreciate that conversation. You can hit us up collectively at ity@directionsandmusic.org or individually.
Gemini, GEMINI at directionsandmusic.org.
Or Philly D, PHILLYD at directionsandmusic.org. You can, hit us up, continue on the conversation, please, because we appreciate that. Or movie quotes even. Just, we would do. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Still pushing the movie quotes thing.
Yeah, if you can just go ahead and do that, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
As well as for our first time listeners, this is a 30-year friendship between you and I, doing pretty much this.
Just cutting it up, just talking and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean anything, everything, raw, organic. Just
sometimes drinking beer.
Sometimes, sometimes not. I mean, we had some beers earlier, but now we're relaxing. I made us some coffee. So
it's out. I only got like a little sip left.
Well, I mean, I think there's more left if you wanted to get that. But hey, anyways, we make food for each other. We talk to one another,
which I have to appreciate. I mean, every time I come over here, I get doted on. It's nice. It's nice. I get made breakfasts.
Doted, like I'm wooing you. Am I putting together a dowry so I can ask for your hand here? Is it?
I get made like some egg sandwiches.
Dude, I get you snacks.
I get
fresh coffee, like fresh ground in a French press, like
bought around the corner. I know.
Dude, I mean, hey, I gotta take care of my baby.
Come on, Fred.
Yeah, dude. Hey, who treats you good? Come on, who treats you good? That's right.
But no, it's funny. You called me out. We're at my place. We're at Studio B. And you called me out, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get on that. Hold on, sorry, I'm slipping."
And it was only after I feel you became a little bit more. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Inebriated?
No. Settled into the idea that food from me mid-break, like in the middle of our episodes, was a given at this point. You were just like, "Oh, he's gonna make me food," and when all of a sudden it just became a thing.
Are you gonna get up now? Are we gonna do this?
That's what it's pretty much. When you're questioning, you're just like, "So is it gonna make itself, or you're gonna get on that for me?"
I thought it just like I'd go somewhere for a minute and you'd be like, "Yo, food's ready." I'm like, it just happened. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah,
but so when that became your common figuring, this this is when at your house. This is when we have alternate studios. It's just like, now you're gonna make me something. Had you never always expected,
it's my responsibility.
So what I mean,
and I own up to that. But it was just like for a moment, it just slipped my mind. I was like, the food's just like you said, the food's just gonna make itself. It's just a magical thing. Like we take a break, the food's ready. We eat. It's like, oh crap! No, that's me. I gotta do that.
Yeah.
So yeah. My apology.
Oh no, it's quite all right, my good sir. I have no qualms with it whatsoever.
I think I'm gonna drink this first and have that be it. That'll be it.
For people in the,
I got the last little bit of my beer.
For those of you not in TV land that can actually see us.
Yeah.
He's discussing the two different mugs, the one with some coffee and the one with some beer. And
which one do I drink first?
Picture if you will.
Picture if you will.
One man, two mugs.
But I got to finish
two different liquids. two mugs, one guy. Oh my God, what's in the box?
I don't know.
What's in the box? Nobody wants to know about that.
Which one is he going to? What's in the box? This show. That's what's in the box.
This show is in the box. That is correct. That is the correct answer.
And what is it? Seinfeld. I don't know. It's nothing.
Oh, that's too funny.
It's the enemy and the never-ending story.
Dude, you know what, man?
The enemy was what?
What?
What was the enemy in the never-ending story?
The Nothing.
That's right.
Which was what was his actual name? Because he wasn't just the Nothing. Because he had to like.
Who was?
Yeah, didn't he have another name? I feel he had like another name.
The wolf did. Mm-hmm. Oh, what was the wolf's name? No, I can't remember.
That's what I'm asking.
But no, not the wolf. Because the wolf, he said, I'm not the nothing. I'm what comes before the nothing.
Well, yeah, correct.
So he was.
That's what I'm saying. So the wolf isn't the Nothing.
There was a lot of really interesting.
Or it was just messing with you.
There was a very deep message in that movie revolving around. I think I told you this. Well, what the heck? What the heck was the wolf's name? What was it?
Well, I went to go Google the wolf, but it came up with both, I think. So it says Gmork, Gmork,
yeah,
is the servant of the power behind the nothing.
Correct.
His appearance in the books is of a wolf-like creature in black fur capable of human speech.
Yeah, that's it. Good job on your pronunciation.
Getting better.
Well, I guess he's representative, like one of the four horsemen kind of thing, like where he's what comes before.
He's like the Nothing's assistant. It's like, I'm going to save us some time.
Well, I'm going to tenderize the area a bit in my fashion for a while before you show up.
No, it's more like I would like to have this resolved before he gets here.
Like I'm going to release some piranhas into the water for a minute before we just flush the whole thing down.
We can just get you to go ahead and sign on with this. It'd be great.
That'd be great. If you could go ahead and come on Sunday too. That it's not a half day or anything.
Yeah, not having a late arrival today.
It's
regular start time.
It's not a half day or anything. So yeah, as soon as you could go ahead and come on in, that would be great. Boop. Yeah. Boop. Yeah. Boop boop. Yeah.
It's me again, Peter. What are you?
That crap you pulled at the doctor's office the other night was went through.
Yeah, at the therapist.
And by the way, I'm cheating on you
with your brother. I think it was his brother, if I remember correctly, or something like that.
I think he took his wallet.
I think he took his. That's back. That's not the same thing.
I think he's his brother. I don't know. Something.
73% of the time.
Never, ever right.
No, 73% of the time you are correct, or you get 73% of what you're quoting correct. So it's just you're.
I mean, should I be happy that it's more than half?
I mean, it's more than 2/3. That says a lot.
The glass is mostly full.
It's almost 3/4. That's pretty dope. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if I found that in the desert, would I be complaining that it was only 3/4 full?
I don't know. As long as it's not a horse with no name. Because you can't have that in the desert. I'll tell you what.
That would be messed up. Why wouldn't you name the horse?
I mean, especially if it's just you and the horse in the desert.
I mean, I feel like that would be in maybe within the first 24 hours.
Well, it's like Tom Hanks with the freaking volleyball.
You don't form... Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't form some kind of a bond with this animal that's carrying you across the desert. I mean...
wait, what's up, horse?
And it's not even a camel who could handle it. It's a freaking horse, poor thing. Like probably some Arabian jobby.
So hot.
But still, I mean, they're built for it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like carrying you anymore, dude. I mean, I feel like a camel is more built for that. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the thing is I would walk next to the horse in hopefully the shadow so that you can
more to the point, name the freaking horse because you're probably going to be face to face with it while you're walking. Like, hey, dude, what's up? I feel like I need to call you something right now. Like, wouldn't that kind of I don't know. That's just me. Like you're in the desert. It's all you and this horse. Like Harry, Jeff, Brian, I don't know, whatever you want to, I mean, something.
Charlie.
Could be Sally. I don't know.
Chuck.
Greg.
And Nibbles Greg, get your milk, man. I mean, that would make it funny.
I mean, or
maybe that's his middle name.
Or something kitschy, you know.
Whatever. Harold Gregory Ezekiel III. Make it formal. Esquire. His formative years, he was
Kevin Ilyanovich, Rasputin, Kubicheski.
Yeah, that guy too. I don't know. Maybe the middle name should be Wait For It. I would like that. That's pretty good. What I'm just saying to you, that's a really good middle name.
Oh my God.
Yeah, his name should have been Hurricane Wait For It.
Wait For It after Hurricane. Wow.
Well, yeah, because if he had lost, if he had gotten the wife to sign on, their kid's first name would have been Hurricane. Yeah.
Oh, this was your show?
Oh yeah, How I Met Your Mother, of course. Yeah, I'm always
just to keep everybody in the know, because
dude, they should know by now.
Sometimes we don't even know.
We never know.
I mean, maybe one of us knows, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going too far into this right now.
No, I'm just really cool. I'm just like the idea of Wait For It. That's just a dope middle name.
As a middle name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take any normal regular name and just throw that in as the middle name now. You're like instantly dope.
Like Poindexter, Wait For It.
Dude, you're in second grade. First day, roll call.
Dude, would you want to be called Poindexter or Dexter?
I think at this, I mean, when are we talking about? Like now?
I don't know. Like what if
or before the show
name was Poindexter?
Why not Pony?
Like who does that to their kids?
Or you can just like Dex.
Dex. I like that. Dexter, whatever.
I like Dex. You like Dex? Yeah, I like, dogs. Yeah, I like Dex. Nobody?
I'm just saying. No.
Snatch? Guy Ritchie? Anybody? Bueller?
Anyone?
Fry?
Anyone?
Fry. When Cameron was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go.
Yes, I know that one. You're not sick.
Yeah, you're not sick. You can't think of anything
better to do.
I mean,
right?
I mean, you were 73% correct.
I thought you were catatonic.
Wait, did you see me change when I was? Thought you were catatonic. Oh, I know he's like stretching his face. Oh, well, rolling his eyes and stuff. Yeah, Cameron was a different man that day. Yeah, that's when he's
that weird, like, I don't know, lips down, like frowny, like teeth gritting.
Yeah, the first time he almost sees a completely naked woman, and all of a sudden he kicks a Ferrari out of a window.
Oops.
I'm saying, apparently the female form gets him
so
all riled up.
Let's run it in reverse. Maybe
it'll just take them out. That's not how that works. That is not how that works.
Like literally running it in reverse. And they had it on a jack stand, right?
Well, so I mean, like way back in the day, and I mean, I'm talking like old school before you had like different checks and stuff like that in place, where you would get a continuous count out of it. So this way you can keep from, frauding, because people started doing it. So they had like measures that they put in. But so originally, yeah, you could run reverse and it would do it. A lot of the times some would just take like the whole speedometer head out, pop the detent or the safety, the lock it so it only rotates one way, pull it back, and then zzz, with the drill and just like run it back like 20, 30,000. It's like, oh no, dude, you can't do that. Oh,
but that's what you can, like, if you're inspecting the car, you look for those kind of things. So.
Oh God, no, you're not checking. Be like, no, it looks like this dash might have been a part. No, we don't. That's not a part of the inspection. No, this is like, so, I mean,
you wouldn't happen to notice. There's no telltale.
So it depends on how gross the error is. I'll be honest.
Like if there's scratches on the the dash glass or whatever.
Well, you can usually tell by looking at.
Wow, that looks like a screwdriver head. That's
well. So most of the time, people will. So as you maintenance or care for your vehicle, you'll have telltale signs on your vehicle. So what the undercarriage look like, what the under the hood looks like, so all of these different pieces and parts, the way the interior is, stuff is, cracked or broken or scratched, or all of these things indicate a certain idea. So yeah, I mean, if there's like a 50, 60, 70,000 mile where you're just like, this car looks like it's a good 200,000, and it's like, oh, there's only 109 on this, like.
Somebody's been loving this a little too much.
I'm not really buying this. Gonna be honest. It looks a little bit like
tough love.
Which, I mean, and it could just be that, yeah, the car was just beat to dirt, but that usually has its own kind of indicators, and it would look.
Remember what we used to do to our cars, though? It was horrible.
Oh my dear Lord, yes. So much fun. But I would also maintenance my cars. You know what I mean? Like I would fix them. I would keep them in good working order.
My first car was a Grand Am. Nothing fancy. Didn't even have a fast motor. But like I would drive the pants off of that thing.
You had to get anywhere.
And before I got rid of it, I think I came around the corner to go to our spot, and my driver's side door flew open because it wasn't properly latching anymore.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's fun.
So here's me and my Grand Am. I think it was half apart at that time too.
The door or the car?
The dash. Like the entire dash for a while, for like 2 weeks.
Is that because you're like weight reduction?
That was the one where the heater core went. And it went in the middle of the winter. So I had to drive back and forth to work with the windows open so it wouldn't fog up. Wearing like 2 sweaters, a sweatshirt, and like a winter coat.
That's hilarious.
I was a cheap mother. So I just bought the part, and I'm like, got to figure out how to get to it and replace it. And it pissed me off too, because the worst part was, so I got the whole heater core, which is like, for those who don't know, it's like a tiny little radiator that sits behind your dash.
Yeah.
Where, I guess the cooler part of the motor or the coolant area where it's coming can use that for AC, and the same thing with the heat, right?
Okay, well, so here's the deal.
However that works.
So here's how it works, more or less.
The hot water from the engine core comes out to the heater core and back around.
So the heater core gets coolant only and is for utilizing, just heated air.
Just heated, yeah.
Correct. So as the air comes across it, it pulls the hot, because it's literally going across all these open fins.
But it's basically a radiator.
It is. It's a very small version of one, and it's typically in the higher part of the system, so that it gets lower flow, because you're not trying to really pull a lot of the heat out of there. You know what I mean? It's not for actual heat dissipation. It's for just taking some of it off to like, oh, hey, while I have this, you guys want some? Oh yeah, I could use a little warm. That's great.
Not like, here it is.
Well, but that's the cool thing though, is like if you have a car that's overheating because say your radiator, the fan's not working or something,
could be enough to
throw on your defroster, because that usually kicks on a second fan if there is one, because it wants to put the AC on as well. And 2, it also turns on your heater so that you're pulling air across it. You're now pulling temperature off of the coolant. So it is almost a small radiator at that point, and it does help you in that kind of a fashion.
So anyway, when it broke on the Grand Am, the thing that ticked me off was my replacement part came with the whole radiator. I hate when people say that. The whole radiator and the little connector hose, right? Like there's a little connector hose on both ends.
Right. Well, yeah, you're in and out.
The original connector hose was plastic. That was the only thing that was broken. So I had this whole thing, and I had to take the entire thing out, and all I really needed was that little pipe, that little connector piece, because they'd made it out of plastic.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. The rest of it was perfect. It just pissed me off.
You see, in situations like that, I would just make up my own parts and just like fix that piece.
That's probably, yeah. Well, I ordered the part ahead of time.
Now it's never going to break. But like, no, we're done.
I basically ordered the part ahead of time, and when I got it, I was like, all right, now I got to figure out how to get to it. Yeah. And had to drive to work back and forth with no dash, no heat, no radio. It was fun. My first car. Everybody's got a first car story, right? I mean,
I have quite a few for my first car, honestly.
Wait, was your first the Astrovan or
no? My first was
or your actual first?
Was Ford Taurus.
Right, yeah.
89, silver bullet, no power, nothing, AC only. Didn't even have like power mirrors or any of that stuff. Like I had the little knobs. I had to like twist and rotate.
And you did your best to try and convince people it was SHO.
No, I didn't. I never did that.
The way you drove that thing.
Oh, hell no. I mean, maybe the way I drove it, but no, I never said like.
The way never said it. The way you drove it.
Dude, I wanted to see. I mean, honestly, you know what? I've had two of them at this point. They're good cars. I like them. They've done me well. I have a more sporty version at this point, but yeah, even that first one way back in the day, yeah, you could pull some stuff with that, man. Them cars they would take some abuse, dude. Them old, like the 89, 90, like 91, like those things, the way they were designed and built, like those, you could just hammer on them things and they take it. They do pretty well in the snow. Like, bro, I always wanted to take an old station wagon, like an 89 to 91 station wagon Ford, and like, you know, slam the crap out of that thing and put like, you know, suicide seat in the back. And
bro, I love my Chrysler New Yorker. That thing was the best.
That thing had a mafia trunk.
Dude, it totally did. You could have put 3 full-size bodies in there.
Oh, you could fit at least 3 dead hookers in there. Easy.
At least.
Wouldn't even have to chop them up. You just throw them on in. I'm just saying. It was space.
Chop them up now.
That takes time. You do it while you're there. But anyways.
Some lie. You know, that's dude, what? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
You had like that one box with the 212. Like I remember when you finally upgraded sound system. You're like, look, that thing was massive. Holy crap, look at the size of this thing.
Remember, we used to get whatever we could just to have something in our car. It could be like house speakers and you'd have to like cross everything over. And
I had a sound system before I had my car. So that as soon as I got my car, I put in my sound system.
It's an 8-ohm voice coil, but I had to cross it over and
I mean, dude, I had plenty of friends that did that. I always had to. I went from like halfway decent to pretty good to like, all right, cool. Like now I just got like the best of the best.
Orion.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh Orion. Man, I miss Orion back in the day. The 90s Orion, all like American made. America. Yeah, all American made.
We're spent the whole show geeking out, but yeah.
Dude, I could, man. I had so many of their subs and amplifiers. Dude, these things were always underrated. Always understated as far as like power and like.
My biggest concern was the head unit. I wanted to have a decent head unit.
Pioneer, man. I was always Pioneer.
Kenwood.
Even though I grew up on like, because like Alpine back in the day was the shit. But you're talking like early 80s is like head units were just coming out.
I can't even remember what I had. Did I have an Alpine?
What did I have? I don't even.
When I finally got a good system, I think it was.
I want to say.
It might have been Alpine.
The first time when you were finally like, bro, I got a good head unit. Look at it. You're like, oh, and you're like, yeah, Alpine. I was like, all right, not my personal, favorite, but yeah, that's pretty good. Alpine will do you right, because you were all about like how Alpine. Because
the thing
listen to the Alpine play.
Ain't even here, right?
Bump the new shit by WA. So that's why you were an Alpine cat. Like I get that. But see, I was a performance dude, and like Pioneer was tried and true at that point.
The biggest thing, and anyone who's swapped out stereo systems knows, like, you don't get a whole lot of preamp on those little speakers out the factory, even though they can handle more. You don't get a whole lot of a stock system. So the easiest way to open it up without adding all kinds of amplifiers was to get a decent head unit that had a decent output.
Well, yeah, because like a factory would have like maybe 13 or 15 watts, whereas these would have 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, They would say 50. See, this is why I like Pioneer, because Pioneer would have, there was 25 RMS per channel by 4.
That's a big difference. You could almost double that number.
Well, because depending on what your rating were and what system it was in, and whether or not you were really rating yourself or you were underrating yourself, which a lot of the companies would do, like the better ones, they were like, oh, actually, no, it's like 25. No, it was more like 28 or 30 almost. You know, but so, you know, in that case, yeah, now you're talking like 50, 60, 75 watt, which is what all these, oh, we got 100 watt. No, you have like 15.
Well, and then there was the whole argument about, oh, man, you got to get hex fat, man. So much better.
I'll tell you what, man. I played with a couple of the extents, and here's the deal. So the cat that made extant literally came in with an S ton of money and just started buying up all the engineers. And, you know, I mean, he was going to Rockford, like Rockford Fosgate. Mm-hmm. He went to Orion, JL. Like, I mean, he was going to all the big boys and just like paid these cats money, banking on we're going to make the sickest, dopest, who gives a shit mass production. That was the one that
actually, the extant series, I don't know if they were all like that, but they had like a clear cover.
Well, they were the first. They were the first to start showing you on the insides, as well as the box was very practical. They were basically like little rectangles.
Yeah,
because everything was built in it. They were almost like really small tube amps that were just massively dope, and then you could just put all sorts of power and, you know, like super loaded down.
They
like,
were supposedly built
half
like
ohm stable
rock
and
solid. Yeah.
Oh, and they would just rock it out. They would just sit there just all day long.
But I didn't have money for that. I was looking to have money.
Johns were expensive, yeah.
For a decent Alpine head unit with a removable faceplate, because that was the thing back then.
You just take your faceplate with you?
Now, like, I don't care. Somebody take my stereo. Go ahead.
I think my first head unit was a Kraco, where you could pull the whole thing out and like you take it with you. Mm-hmm. Like a little mini like briefcase that's got its own handle and stuff.
Yeah, because that's what you want to be doing. Walking around town with a freaking head unit in your hand.
Yeah, no, like the whole thing. Like, all you're missing is the microphone. It's like your little walkie-talkie or something.
I don't have
your
one
field
anymore,
phone.
so I don't mind saying this, but I used to just take the faceplate off, put it in the case, and throw it under my seat.
Oh, I did as well.
Like, as long as you don't see it,
or the glove box,
it's not a temptation. Like, you assume I take it with me. I don't feel like carrying that shit.
So
then
Pioneer,
it can get stolen or lost or whatever.
Pioneer back in the day they were one of the first that when you pop that screen off, like your faceplate, it would have a little red light behind it that would just blink. So it looked like you had a
security system.
So not only was it like, hey, stereo's not here, it's like, but system's also set. You're like, next car, just keep on cruising. It was like its own little theft deterrent.
What our buddy used to do that would crack me up is he'd take off. Yeah, I think he'd take off his regular faceplate, and instead of just taking that with him, he would leave like a Kraco like fake faceplate in its place. So that people will walk up and go,
Well, yeah, because if they saw that, like, he doesn't have anything good in the car, and he was loaded. Oh, yeah, dude. He had, like, some of the dopest
he's
of the
got
dope.
Crapco, forget it. But it was just like, he would just kind of sit it in there. It happened to fit.
He was the one that introduced me to the HCCA Orion stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the red amplifiers, the high current competition amplifier. That's what HCCA stands for.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, dude. These things were ridiculous. So back in the day, because by the time I found out about them and where they were at on their versions, and I can get my hands on it, and I had to do some trading to get my hands on 2 of these because it was limited production, was the HCCA 225 G4. So it's a 2-channel amplifier that puts out 25 watts aside, like RMS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, this amp is technically half ohm stable, quarter ohm capable.
Right. So you
could run it down to, so normally it would be set at, 4 ohms. At 4 ohms, it's putting out 25 watts.
Right.
But at 2 ohms, it's putting out 50. And at 1 ohm, it's putting out 100. And at a half ohm, it's putting out 200. And at a quarter ohm, it's putting out 400.
It's stable. Yeah.
And that's just on one channel. You still have one other channel. So this one amplifier, you can now run like 8 8 ohm subs, or you know what I mean, like 4 ohmers, and to like keep like parallel them down, and you get all the way down to a 1/4 ohm on 2 different channels, and you're now rocking 1,600 watts off of a 50-watt amp.
What? That's nuts, man.
But that's the thing, though, is like, so these amps being able to do that going into a competition, because typically it'd be 0 to 150 watt class is your first class. They would rock 3 of these because each one of them is only 50 watts because it's what it's nominally rated at for 4 ohms, which is 25 a side.
Which is accurate.
So 3 of them makes 50, 50, 50, which is 150. So you can have 3 of them. Well, now all of a sudden you're running these 3 amps with like 16 12-inch subs, and you just got to bump for like,
what
30 seconds like, to make your dB pull, and you just and they just pound out the pressure because they're building these major freaking cabinets with them. And
like, this is the one reason why they didn't stick around forever, though, because well, most companies will, like, we need to build a connection to go from here to here. It's like, I'm going to give you the minimum amount that you would need for our maximum, which is higher than the RMS, obviously, like of our maximum need for the output of this particular magnet, basically, and how all that works. Like, I don't know, like the science behind all. I'm just saying, like, I totally blacked out there. I don't know what happened. I'm talking out my ass.
It's all right.
Anywho's.
But yeah, no, dude,
systems.
Yeah, dude, I loved. I mean, that's the thing is, like, so coming from the first car again, I went from a Craco, Spark-O-Matic kind of crap, rocking the Optimus from Radio Shack, and then like the MTX, and then Orion, and then started getting like bigger and bigger sound systems. Yeah, I mean, then they always went with me from car to car to car, Because, I mean, when you buy the good stuff, you can take it with you as long as that's not what got into the accident, or, you know what I mean? Or
you better take it with you.
Oh, yeah, dude. I had this, when I finally got to one setup, I pretty much carried it with me for a solid like 6 or 7 years and just pounded the crap out of it.
It seemed like, if you wanted to upgrade too, there was always somebody there that was willing to buy your old shit.
Well, see, that was the thing, is the stuff that I had by the time, I'd been rocking it for so long. This is stuff that, yeah, even in the condition it was in with me, which was just somewhat old, because, it was probably a couple years old, because I bought some of this as used equipment.
Right.
And it was in great shape. I mean, it really was. All the stuff that I was getting was coming from my one buddy, so it was qualified source, and he was just like, oh, I got my line on this and that, and I had friends that were giving stuff up, and so I knew the condition of.
It's funny because all that was so important back in the day. Like, especially if you didn't have a car that was special. Like, it didn't go fast. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't. Like, there was some way that you had to stand out. And for a lot of guys, it was just like, I want to build a banging system. Dude, and it wasn't even, I want to build a banging system, because if you couldn't make it there, it was just like, I want to make noise. I just want to make noise.
Well, see, and here, like, all right, so the neighborhood I grew up in, we like the cars that go boom. Like, dude, you had to have, it was about lowriders, it was about stereos, and so, I mean, no matter what, it was, that's why I pretty much lowridered every one of my cars. Like 99% of all my cars I've ever owned, which I've had a bunch, I've lowered basically all of them somehow or another, whether a little or a lot, but lowered them all. Pretty much done a stereo in, again, darn near like 90% of them. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, that's what I was raised on. So
I don't know. I feel like those days are over.
So it wasn't even something like I had to do. It was something that I was like, it's just, this is what's right. I
feel like that's not even like important anymore, though. And what's funny though? I had to drive. I don't use it as much. It's more for like when we're transporting the whole family. But when I'm taking the girls back and forth, like I use the minivan. And today I hooked up my phone and I started playing something. It was like Portishead Radio from Pandora or whatever.
Those were like loud. I want to hear it loud.
It played this one track which wasn't Portishead, but it had like kind of a deep like bass rhythm in the background, and I was like, "Wow, these speakers are kind of nice." I had it cranked up a little bit.
I mean, honestly, most of your cars nowadays, you know, even from say like the 2000s. So I mean, even in the past 20 years, it's a give. Even your most piece of box crap, like
has a halfway decent
has a good like. Hey, listen to the stereo. Like no matter what, it has a decent stereo. Because even the crap of the crap now is stuff that was the good stuff back in the day, and it just became the norm. So,
and I think and maybe it was more that this particular track picked on that particular frequency of my rearview mirror. But you've seen that before, and like that was always one of my favorite things about having a really loud system, is that when the bass would hit, you couldn't see the car behind you because it would just completely blur. Always used to crack me up. But it actually did that a little bit. Like you could see the cars behind you moving when I was playing. I was like, damn, this thing got a little bass reflex, don't it?
I think the most consistent compliment I would get about my sound setup was anybody who was sitting in the back seat with it was like, my eyeballs are vibrating. Like they're shaking out of my skull. Yeah, it would. But see, I mean, but that was the thing is like, so one, growing up with that, and two, having people around me that were all into it, and we were into the crazy, insane, like we knew there was science behind it, and you can build setups. And
my brother had the box built around two opposed, what do you call them? The tube speakers, a
bass tube.
No, I was trying to think of the actual brand name now. I can't think of
the bazookas.
The bazookas. He had two opposed bazooka, like 10-inch or 12-inch. I can't remember what it was.
I believe they were 10s.
That
was all he could fit in that spot. Like they tucked in right, if I recall.
But I remember the first time cruising in the car with him, listening to like Metallica on like volume 10.
I don't know, it's on 10.
And I was like, damn, this sounds really good.
Little bass goes a long way.
Oh, it was a beautiful sound.
Literally.
Metallica rocks, man.
Metallica
rocks. No, it was so funny because like so many times, like, and back in the day, like people would pick, I mean, we all did it. Like you'd have at least one tape or whatever in your car that was just nothing but like just bass music. There was no other purpose at all for that tape other than just, I'm going to go through this neighborhood and I'm going to make a lot of noise.
I mean, I wouldn't to the extent of like, I'm purposely going through neighborhoods.
You would. Not a neighborhood, but a town, like town center.
Well, no, I had
spot.
Yeah, I had definite albums that were like, this is feel the bass, the bass, the bass, feel the bass, the bass. Yeah, no, I definitely on tape, CD, all that good stuff. But yeah, no, that's
Where you put a quarter on the trunk and you can watch it like basically levitate.
Dude, see, this is most of this. This is what I loved about Orion the most with their subwoofers, their amps, like their setups, the way they were designed, and the way you could build your speaker like boxes for them to get whether ported or sealed or
they were just well built.
Well, so most of your subs, you would hear the music as it was leaving. So as the vehicle would come at you, you wouldn't so much hear the bass. You might hear the higher tones as it gets really close. And then you start to hear the, and then it would keep going after it passes you by and kind of dissipates off quickly. Orion's, for some reason.
The Doppler effect?
Right. But here's the thing is, Orion's, you would actually start to hear the bass as it was coming towards you because it would project so well. Like there was such a capability. Well, because here's the thing is like when you're producing that sound, it's produced at a certain frequency. But if you're pumping out that frequency with so much force or ability, it can push itself further. And I mean, the speed of sound is pretty quick. So when you can have like you're saying the Dopplers, you can amplify that and build some behind it. All of a sudden, it's like, dude, that stuff carries. I mean, it was very common for us to be at our one spot where we would do builds and installs and tuning. You could have the car out all the way in the back section, and one of, or if not a few of, the garages, like the doors, because in those kind of commercial garages, you have the big overhead doors, and
right.
They're like tall, like 8-foot doors and stuff, like huge. And so these doors, whether up or down, you could hear the springs and like
they were starting
the rails, and they would just like people would just be like looking up at the ceiling, like, what is that noise?
Oh, like you'd find the frequency of the spring, basically.
Well, it's not even so much that; it's just that even us all the way on the other side of the building being muffled out by a concrete structure and stuff, so you really only kind of hear this low tone outside where it's just like. And it's like really faint.
It doesn't sound loud.
But inside the building, you're just like, it's like electric. You're just like, why is that humming? Is it humming? Why is it humming? What is, oh my.
Did you say humming?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's like, and yeah, it would freak. And then then the tone would stop and you'd come inside and they'd just be like, was that you? Like, probably, I don't know why, was something like vibrating? Was something humming? Oh my God, he said humming. Yeah, I said it.
Humming, coming at ya. Didn't know how to get you. Sawed off shotgun. Hand on the pump.
I just
left hand on the 40.
Smoking.
Puffing on a blunt.
Smoking?
No? Smoking?
Puffing?
I thought it was puffing on a blunt.
I don't know. 73%. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Whatever.
Maybe it's both. Because I feel like there's a multitude of times in which they say that.
Well, I'm an alley cat.
I heard that about you.
Some say a dirty rat.
What?
On my side is my guy. Say I'm all of that.
You're like starting to mumble a little bit. I don't even know what is going on
What's going on? I don't even know.
You're like you're trying to quote, but you're also not trying to quote. Apparently, not going to work here anymore. Yeah, that's how that happens. If you
Ahina Jana.
How hard is it to say?
Ahina Jana.
It's not that difficult. Yeah, it's not that difficult. Really isn't.
Is your name Michael Bolton?
Is your name? You just call me Mike. I think we're
any relation? No. Dude, what's the matter with Michael Boy? That's a nice name. It was a nice name.
So what he calls it, like an ass hat?
That no talent having ass hat.
Yeah.
Started writing albums.
Oh my God.
Michael Bolton?
Oh.
I got to say, I love Michael Bolton. Like everything. What would you say is your favorite song?
Geez. I mean, there's so many. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just like, oh, God, thank you. Saved. I think that's pretty much what his move was.
Well, let me tell you though. When he sings "When a Man Loves a Woman,"
oh God, that's a hard pass. Hard pass. What's in the 40-Year-Old Virgin? Was it Steve Winwood or whatever? Or no. What
are you trying to think of?
On 40-Year-Old Virgin, the stuff that they have on the TVs that just keeps playing over and over and over again. That Paul Rudd is just like, I swear to God, if I hear this one more time, I'm going to kill myself.
Dude, now I don't even know.
Oh, it's, not Fleetwood Mac. Oh, God, this is going to kill me.
Like Fleetwood.
Yeah, can we get a fact checker on this one possibly? Oh, because it's, I can see his face.
Yeah, can we get some help? This conversation's falling apart.
SOS. Yeah, no, but that's to me because we were talking about that the same thing in like Shaun of the Dead, where you get the additional background playing into the story. So it's like where the props have their own role. It's not just a prop; it actually has a purpose. I find that humorous.
Is this your bush?
Yeah, right, dude. It's just a bush. How do you include the bush? You king of the forest? You got a special bond with this bush?
No, I mean just there's other bushes.
But yeah, no, it's man, yeah, 40-year-old virgin.
Michael McDonald.
Thank you. Say that again.
Michael McDonald.
Yeah,
Mike McDonald. Yeah,
yeah. But I think there's a specific track too. Maybe I don't even know. It was like one or two that he's just like, if I hear something or other, one more time, he's like, I swear to God, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it right here in the store. He's like threatening to like blow his brains out in front of all the TVs or so. I don't know, my God.
If one of you says shenanigans one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to pistol whip you.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Minute by minute?
Maybe. I don't know.
It says a song that was played in loop in the background was minute by minute.
Maybe.
Hey, Farver, where's that place we used to go to?
Yeah, with the mozzarella sticks and all the goofy shit on the wall. Why do you want me to look?
You mean shenanigans? Oh.
Just because you said shenanigans doesn't mean that I have to play along.
Yes.
I don't have to do this.
Yes, you do.
Just because you're my friend doesn't mean I have to do it. I just have to put up with it.
What?
That's what the rule is. I don't have to do it. I just deal with it. You can do it all you want. I don't always have to do it.
Put up with you? What do you mean put up with
Same
me?
difference. Exactly. Just because I do it doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah.
But you got to put up with me.
What are you talking about?
There's all acceptance here. What? I can't.
It was from Soundstage, the Michael McDonald live DVD.
Yeah, well, that was the performance that they had on in the background every single time. Yeah, but
that was a DVD that was playing in the background.
Yeah, I feel like it was
name of the track that you're missing there.
No, she said it.
Name of the track was minute by minute.
Yeah, which I'm like, yeah, maybe that was. I don't know. It's just
maybe that was it. I don't know.
I just remember him like just go. That was.
Now I feel like I need to hear this. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think I have it, bro. You can borrow it. It's all good. Of course, man. It's in the 300. Come on, homie. Why wouldn't it be?
Oh man, there's so many older movies. I feel like I've been thinking about The Great Outdoors a lot lately. I feel like I need to see that again.
I have that one too.
Of course you do. You should have that one.
Everyone should.
For real.
It's a must. Do anything with John Candy, dope. And Dan Aykroyd, probably doper.
Like the freaking bat scene.
Dude, there's a couple of them.
Like running around trying to catch the bat.
Right? He's got like his freaking gear on, the waste basket, and I think he's like all ponchoed up and duct taped down or something. Oh man, he's
classic stuff, man.
Yeah, it was
really random. But they're making the Al Yankovic story.
What? Who is? What
and
is?
Daniel Radcliffe is playing Al Yankovic.
Who's going to play Weird Al?
Wait, Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, yeah.
What?
That's kind of weird.
I mean, who's making this production? Where and how and
he's
what?
A good enough actor to do that, but I'm trying to picture it.
Look.
I mean, that's kind of literally showing us a picture right now of Radcliffe in looking like with the accordion and everything, and
it was
the
like
mustache and the glasses,
the afro and the porn stash.
Pretty much, it's 70s, young Jewish kid kind of a thing. Yeah, it's like the tip. It's just like over stereotype.
Accordion playing.
Like you expect him to be like either going to or coming from a bar mitzvah of some sort, Like it's just, you couldn't be more stereotypical. It's like okay, but so what is this? Is this a documentary or is this What is it like?
Historical
with the
fiction?
Historical fiction we're talking about? Like,
what is that?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be it's a Roku original film.
Oh, see, there you go. That's what.
And it is Weird Al Yankovic's like autobiographical story, I guess.
Okay, so it's a historical fiction docu-series kind of thing.
He's a weird dude, but I love him.
Dude, you know what? And a hell of a performer. I've seen him live. You know what I mean? Like,
I can still remember some of his songs like way better than I really should.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
I mean, I loved going to Gallagher. I love seeing Howie Mandel. Like,
no, but he had this thing where like, well, all of his songs.
The Amazing Jonathan.
They were all parodies of popular songs.
I believe so. Yeah. Well, not so much always popular, but typically it was a popular.
Dude,
at
like
least,
when he did
relatively well-known mainstream.
When he did Fat, and I think that was in the show that we went to.
And he puts on the suit. He actually puts on the suit.
And he puts on the suit and he comes out and it's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, and he usually takes intermission and then he comes out doing like a surgeon and he's got on the...
Dude, if you're not laughing your ass off and like red in the face halfway through the show, you might as well just get up and leave.
Or singing and clapping and enjoying yourself. Hell yeah, man.
It was just too much.
Dude, I know.
I think that was my first concert, actually. Or no, second. Was Primus my first? I think Primus was my first show.
Steve Miller Band.
It was Primus and Helmet.
Yeah, you were at that show with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Les Claypool got a shoe thrown at him.
Yes. Yes, I remember that.
Oh, I remember, yeah, because the entire...
Dude,
literally the entire audience started chanting, asshole, asshole.
Yeah. And the worst part is, he threw a Birkenstock.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, I know. It was. But yeah, when they finally found the guy and yanked him out of here.
He actually did. He came back out and did.
Oh, yeah. Dude, mad kudos. Les comes out and he's like, apparently some people don't know how to have a good time. He's like, if the rest of you are ready to behave yourselves.
Can't handle Vegas.
Pretty much, right? And of course, everybody was just like, yes, please, thank you. And he rocked out the show, and everybody was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
He did like another short set, from what I recall. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He crushed it, and it was an amazing show. Yeah, and it also sucked because Helmet had issues as well. The lead singer, because they're their own tech crew. They don't run roadies. They do all their own stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And his one amp goes out, and he's the lead singer, and so it's like he's back there plugging and playing, and the rest of the band's still playing.
Trying to fill in?
Well, no, just continuing the song.
Yeah.
And then when he finally gets finished out, which he does like the last quarter of the lyrics for the song, and it was just like, oh.
That's
like, yeah, and it was unsung, which it was like my all-time favorite off that entire album. And I was just like, yes. And then I was just like, no. What is and I was like, oh, maybe they're going to play it again. Maybe they're going to play it again. Nope. They were very much on time and like, yeah, no, they did their set and then Primus had to come out. Like, I mean, it was bing, bang, boom.
In the contract, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know. It may, and maybe on their side or maybe on the venue side. I don't know, possibly, but maybe. Where they're just all business and it's like, yeah, let's knock this out. We got to go. Yeah, we want to pack up and get out of here. We got another show next week.
You don't want to step on Primus.
I mean,
they were on the rise at that point.
I mean, both bands at that point were very well known. I would say to the same level, but I mean, I think Primus at that point was more well traveled, you know, as far as like concert level.
Yeah, Helmet was a bit too much noise for me. I couldn't get into that.
You're a bit too much noise for me.
At that point in my life. But Primus was just, they had that gritty, you know, those bass lines, man. Just had you wanting to like bop your head and stuff.
Dude, I was listening to Primus the other day. It
was kind of like Rage. Listen to Rage back in the day. I haven't heard Rage in a long time, man.
Dude, Rage, like, dude, their guitar riffs, kind of like Korn, where it was an all new sound out of a guitar almost. Because a lot of Korn's riffs, they were playing with a detuned standard guitar setup. They would just go down and it's
they play the devil's notes.
Well,
it's the devil's music.
Well, and again, the same thing with like Rage is they were well, Van Halen, man. Van Halen had the tapping method and made that like popular. And then you have like, surf and slide and so many, it's
Van Halen actually was I don't think enough people realize how impressive Van Halen was. Like he actually made his own chord progressions for certain, like what was it? I think the song Jump, which just seems like a fun-loving song, was actually really complex in the writing. Like I heard about that he made his own progressions and everything for that song. And it's just like to you and me, it's just like a catchy tune, Jump. Go ahead and jump,
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I'm aware of the finger goose.
I'm just Hey. Wow.
What?
Wait, is that going to be picked up?
I have no idea, but the fact that we weren't talking is going to be.
I don't know. It was like a low vibration that just went past.
It happens. It's all good.
Sorry about that.
I'm thinking like we had control over.
No, my reaction too.
That I would have. Yeah, that you need to apologize for.
That's what I just was trying.
I'll apologize with you.
You know what?
What? Don't.
Just yeah.
Are you judging me for judging you for judging me?
Just talk amongst yourselves.
I did, and it didn't work out. 'Cause I don't even like me.
Wow.
What? Just being honest.
This is the low energy part of the evening, I think.
Dude, you were the one that was talking some serious stuff earlier about killing things or something. Like instantly went to it, and it was just like, wait, what?
Oh my god, killing things. What was that? What?
I don't remember.
What happened?
Something about that.
Where was I?
Exactly. It was either the green room or something, but still
playing Call of Duty on my phone. But
that's not what we do here.
Not on the show.
Not on the show. Well, I hope not. I mean,
like before and after, and
I mean, those at home could be maybe, but
well, yeah.
But here on our time,
this is
in here, it's our time.
Oh, is it that time? It is that time almost.
Oh yeah, we're yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah, so, no.
It feels like
I feel like I should be.
Nobody fell asleep tonight though, so that's good. That's
we don't. Maybe at home they might have. We don't know. They're sitting there just like,
how many years are we going to do this? And like, eventually it's just going to be like, two old men falling asleep on the microphone.
Oh my God.
But like, why was the show only 14 minutes? Well,
Dude, you know what's going to be funny is in the episodes where she's falling asleep and we're asking her, hey, did you, I think you fell asleep. Yeah. Oh, you're asleep. And one of our people was like, for the first time listening to that, and they're like zoning off a little bit, and they wake up to that basically. And they're just like, wait, did I fall asleep? Did they know that I fell asleep? What is going on? Like they have like a Matrix moment or something.
Did you just fall asleep? Yeah.
And it's just like, follow the white rabbit. What's going on here? Oh my God. Yeah, they start freaking out.
Yeah, because at the one point I'm like, well, she can't hear us now. Maybe she can. I don't know. But like she'll go back and listen to this, and we'll be sitting here talking about her.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, dude, that's it's funny how time works that way. But
yeah. And speaking of time.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. It is time. So
it's just about time. But yeah, if you want to reach out to us, please.
Yeah, all three of us collectively, you can get us at
ity@directionsinmusic.org.
Individually, you can get
Gemini, GEMINI @directionsinmusic.org.
And as me as well, you can get
PHILLYD @directionsinmusic.org. And you can get Philly D.
You say it like it's so porny. Please, easy there. That's not what he's talking, people. Don't hit me up, but not for that.
I love how he gives me the D.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm telling you, that's what happens here, apparently.
That's what happens.
But yeah, it's Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Took a quack, a fact checker, Mr. D.
Yeah, and as always, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else.
Much love.
Bears.
Peace.
Peace.